Did you decide on a date for your wedding? I need to know as soon as possible so I can plan ahead.
Yeah? Why? Do you have something else to do that day?
What do you mean, why? You know I do shift work, so I'll have to make sure I'm off that day. And I'll have to find some time to go shopping to get something to wear, make hair appointments, and all that. There's lots of things I'll have to schedule and do to get ready. I've been looking forward to seeing you get married ever since you were a little girl. It's one of my biggest dreams as a mother.
Huh? You're coming to my wedding? Are you serious?
What? Of course I am. Why wouldn't I? I'm your mom, and I want to be there for you on your special day.
But I don't want you there. I don't want you anywhere near me or my fiancé or his family.
Huh? Why not? What did I do to deserve this? How can you say such a thing to your own mother?
If you think about it just for a bit, I think you'll see why. You're an embarrassment to me and everyone around you.
No, I don't see why I wouldn't go. I'm an embarrassment. I'm your mother. I gave birth to you, raised you, fed you, clothed you, supported you. How can you be so ungrateful and cruel?
Because my fiancé's whole family are doctors. They're all successful, educated, respected people. And what are you? A high school dropout who works at a convenience store. Do you know how embarrassed I'd be if my high school dropout of a mom showed up at my wedding? They'd look down on me and judge me for being related to you.
But to not have your own mom show up at your own wedding, wouldn't that look even worse? Wouldn't that make them think that there's something wrong with our family or our relationship?
I'll just make up some excuse like you're sick and you can't go outside or something like that. Or maybe that you died in a car accident. Anything is better than having them see you in person.
Don't say things like that. Please, don't do this to me. I've been looking forward to seeing you all dressed up in your wedding dress, walking down the aisle, as long as I can remember. It's the happiest, as long as I can remember. It's the happiest moment of a mother's life. Don't take that away from me.
I don't care about that. All I care about is mine. And mine depends on marrying into this family and becoming one of them. And having you there would ruin everything for me.
You've never mentioned this before. Why are you just bringing this up now? Did someone on his side say something about me? Did they pressure you or threaten you or something?
Nobody has said anything directly about you, but I can sense how they feel. They don't think very highly of you. They think you're trashy and low class and ignorant. They've all got MDs or PhDs, and you're sitting there without even a high school diploma. What do you think they'd think? The only reason they're even allowing me to marry their son is because I at least have a degree from a reputable school. Being associated with you is a huge strike against me. Honestly, I'm considering cutting you out of my life altogether.
What? You're not. You don't have to go that far, do you? You can't just erase me from your life like that. I raised you your whole life, and you're just going to abandon me now? How can you be so heartless and selfish?
My fiancé is the most important thing to me right now.
I'm not going to do anything to offend anyone in his family. And I promise I won't do anything to embarrass you.
If you were beautiful and dropped out of high school, maybe I could justify it. But you look like a regular old woman. You've got gray hairs all over the place, and your hands and skin are so wrinkly, you look even older than you are. With a high school dropout of a mom who looks like you, they're gonna do nothing but tease me about it for the rest of my life.
There's nothing I can do about how I look. I've been working from morning till night for the past 20 years just to keep a roof over your head and food on the table. I haven't had the time or money to go to a beauty salon or worry about how my skin looks. I've sacrificed everything for you.
Why the heck wouldn't you care about your own looks? You damn well should. You should have tried to look as a daughter who's marrying into such a great family.
Look, you know your grandfather was living with us because he was too sick to take care of himself. I not only had to work to raise you, I had to look after him at the same time. And I had to pay all of your grandma's hospital bills before she died too. I had to support everyone by myself. And by the time both of your grandparents had passed away, you were starting college. With all that tuition, everything's been really tough for me. No matter how long or how hard I worked, there never seemed to be enough money. Why can't you understand that?
Stop with your excuses. You only had to work that hard because you dropped out of high school. If you'd have gone to college, you could have gotten a decent job that paid well. You brought this all on yourself. A dropout single mother? My God. You're a disgrace. Why didn't you at least finish high school? Is it because you were too stupid?
I couldn't finish high school because of circumstances beyond my control. And that's why I worked so hard to help put you through a decent college. I did all this for you because I love you. I thought if I could see you get married and be happy, all my hard work would be worth it.
Why are you trying to make it sound like I owe you something for doing this? It's a parent's duty to raise and provide for their children. If you didn't have the funds or weren't prepared to support me until I was an adult, you shouldn't have given birth to me. But you did. So it's only natural that you work your butt off to provide for me until I'm old enough to get out on my own.
Why are you talking to me like this? I agree with some of your points. You have to understand everyone has different circumstances, especially us. We've been through so much together, and we've always been there for each other. We're family, and nothing can change that.
It doesn't matter. You just don't fit in with the kind of family I'm marrying into. You better not come to my wedding. If you really care about me like you say you do, you'll stay away from me and my fiancé and his family. You'll leave me alone and let me live. Mom, how could you do this to me? Why did you say you're not paying for the wedding? You know that the bride's family is supposed to pay. It's tradition. My fiancé's family already agreed to help out and pay half. So why are you suddenly refusing to pay any of it? Do you know how embarrassed I am right now?
What are you talking about? Why should I pay? You said I'm an embarrassment to you, and you forbid me from even going to your wedding. You don't want me anywhere near you or your fiancé or his family. You said all those horrible things to me, and then you expect me to pay for half of your wedding? Are you kidding me? I'm not giving you another cent for anything ever again. You're an adult now. If you want something, pay for it yourself.
So now you're just going to abandon your own daughter? You're heartless. You don't care about my happiness or my future. You're just a selfish and cruel woman who only thinks about yourself.
Say whatever you want. No matter what you say to me, you're not getting another cent. You've made your choice, and you have to live with the consequences. Well, fine. Go ahead. But don't expect me to help you or support you or love you anymore.
Whatever. Do whatever you want. I don't need you or your money or your love. I don't know why this surprises me at all. You've always been a disappointment and a failure as a mother. I'm done with you. I'm never speaking to you again, so don't ever try contacting me again. You're not my mom. You're nothing to me.
What's this? Are you saying you knew? Did you find out somehow? Did you see the papers?
What? Knew what? What are you talking about? What papers?
That none of my blood is in your veins. That I'm not your biological mother. That I adopted you when you were a baby.
What are you talking about? None of your blood is in my veins? Is this some kind of joke? Are you trying to mess with my head?
It's no joke. It's the truth. The truth that I've been hiding from you for so long.
Huh? Then you mean... Are you saying you're not my real...
I knew I'd have to tell you sometime, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So, I've been trying to keep it a secret from you. When you were only 3 months old, I took you in. I adopted you as my own daughter, and I loved you with all my heart.
Huh? Wait, hold on. Then, my parents? My real parents are somewhere, right? Who are they? Where are they? Why did they give me up?
Do you want to know who your real mom is? Do you want to know where she is and why she left you?
Of course! I want to know everything. Give me her number. I want my real parents to be at my wedding. Maybe they'll be proud of me and happy for me.
Huh? What are you talking about? You're gonna forbid the woman who raised you your whole life to come? And instead, you're gonna invite someone who you've never met? Someone who doesn't even know your name, or your face, or your voice?
It's better than having the mother of the bride seat empty at the wedding. It's better than having no one there who shares my blood, or my genes, or my history.
Don't you want to know what kind of person gave birth to you?
Well, of course. But there's no doubt they'll be better than a high school dropout. I doubt there's anything worse.
Really? Okay. I don't know your real mom's phone number or where she lives, but I think I have some proof of who she is somewhere in my house. I'll find it and send it to you. When you see who it is, You can try to track her down yourself and get into contact with her.
Okay, I will. I've always wondered how someone like you could have been my mom. I suspected long ago that you weren't. We've got nothing in common. I've always believed a child should be with their real mom.
I've always treated you as my own daughter. I devoted my entire life to you. I did all that for you. And you're still going to say something like that?
I told you before. Stop acting like I'm something. I can't believe this. You've had me tricked this whole time. I want my real parents at my wedding. Get whatever information you have sent to me right away. You fraud. Mom! You tricked me again, didn't you? How could you do this to me?
From the way you're acting, I see you found your real mom, huh? You found the woman who gave birth to you, but didn't want you.
Yeah, I found her. When I got the records you sent me. The ones with her name and picture and criminal history. The ones that shattered my whole world and made me question everything I ever knew. My fiancé hired a private investigator to find her. He wanted to surprise me and make me happy. He wanted to reunite me with my long-lost mother. He didn't know what kind of monster he was digging up.
Then invite her to your wedding like you wanted to. That's what you wanted, isn't it? You wanted your real mother to be there, and then introduce her to your fiancé, and his family, and show them how proud you are of her.
I'm not inviting someone like that! I'm not inviting a murderer to my wedding! She's nothing but a monster! She tried to kill someone to get insurance money. She went to prison. She's a disgrace and a nightmare.
That's right, but she's out of prison now, isn't she? She should be able to go to your wedding. She should be able to see you get married and be happy.
What the heck is going on here? Explain this to me. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you torturing me like this?
If you must know, your mom is my older sister. She's really beautiful and knows what men want. Guys have been lining up to be with her since she was young. And because of that, she's always thought she's better than everyone else. So everyone in our family hated her. One day, she decided she wanted to be rich. So she married a rich guy 10 years older than her. But I guess she decided splitting his money wasn't what she wanted. So she devised a plan to try to get it all. I don't know if she planned on trying to kill him before they got married or not, but it seems she wanted all his money and maybe even some extra from his life insurance. But before her plan could work, her husband found out she had been secretly poisoning him, and she was arrested. By the time all that was found out, she was already pregnant.
You mean with me?
That's right. But her husband wanted nothing to do with the daughter of the woman who tried to kill him, so he refused to take you. That's when I decided to take you rather than have you put up for adoption. My parents used all the savings they had to hire a lawyer to help my sister, but it wasn't enough. The cost of the trial and the extra mouth to feed was too much. I had to quit school and find a job to help my parents out and to raise you.
So, that's why you didn't graduate high school?
Some people said it wasn't worth doing all that for a child of someone like her. But even though your mom had done a horrible thing, I didn't think you should suffer for it. I knew if you were associated with someone like that, it would make your life even more difficult.
That's why, even up till just last week, you try to keep it a secret from me?
For the past 24 years of your life, I loved you and raised you like you were my own. That wasn't enough for you. You wanted even more than that. And when you told me I wasn't your mom, I thought you knew. So, I thought you wanted to know who your real mom was. Recently, I had been considering never telling you the truth and just taking that secret with me to the grave.
So, you were never planning on telling me about my real mom?
I wanted to at first, but it was mostly my parents who thought I shouldn't. When my sister was sent to prison for attempted murder, my parents were so ashamed. They didn't want to be seen in public anymore. They got rid of pretty much everything in the house that was tied to her, even the baby pictures they had of her. We moved away from that town, and my parents never spoke of her to anyone again. Those are what I secretly took from my parents before they destroyed everything of my sister's. If you ever wanted to know who your real mom was, I figured it would be best if I had some proof, or something that might lead you to her. I'm glad I kept those things now.
No, you sent those things to me so my fiancé would find out, didn't you? You kept those things to use against me, didn't you?
What are you talking about? I gave you those things because you said you wanted to know. They helped you find your real mom, didn't they?
Shut up! Think about what you've done! Now my fiancé's family knows that the bride's mother is a criminal! This is terrible!
Oh? Is that worse than her mother being a high school dropout? I guess you never considered there are worse things than that, did you?
It's not just that. They know my mom was only after money and tried to kill her husband to get it. What do you think they're going to assume I'm doing?
Well, I can't blame them for that. If I was in your fiancé's position, I'd be concerned that you'd be trying the same thing that your mom tried too. I'd be scared you might be trying to take my life.
My fiancé's parents said that they want the wedding postponed, which is basically their way of saying they don't want their son marrying a criminal's daughter, because it would be bad for their reputation. I'm sure it's just a matter of time before the wedding is canceled altogether.
That's not surprising. It's an unfortunate situation.
What are you talking about? That's what you'd say if this was happening to someone you barely knew.
That's because it is. I'm not your mom. You told me that yourself not too long ago.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know my real mom would be such a horrible person.
You chose the person you had never met over the woman who raised you your whole life. I went along with your decision, and I gave you the information you wanted so you could find your real mom. You found her. So, I'm not your mom anymore. And that means you're not my daughter anymore.
I was angry. It was a slip of the tongue. It could happen to anyone. I didn't mean it.
Say it. You typed it. Are you saying it was just a slip of the finger?
I only have one mom. You know that. You were my mom then, and you're still my mom now.
You can't just flip sides whenever it's convenient for you. Your fiancé is about to dump you. So now you want to come running back to me? Do you think I'm going to fall for that?
Mom, I'm sorry. I apologize. Please forgive me. Mom, please, I'm sorry.
I know you meant what you said to me before. Now you've got to take responsibility for your decisions. You're supposed to be an adult. If you can't take responsibility for your own actions, I must not have raised you very well. But from now on, I'm not going to be looking after you or helping you out ever again. I devoted my entire life to you. I worked hard and gave you everything I could possibly give you. I have absolutely nothing left to give you. And that includes any love. That was the end of Camilla's fairy tale. Her fiancé's parents were outraged when they learned the truth about her biological mother. They came from a family of doctors, and they cared deeply about their reputation and status. They could tolerate me being a high school dropout, but they couldn't accept having a murderer in their family tree. They demanded that their son break off the engagement, or else they would disown him. He had no choice but to obey. Camilla was devastated. She had been bragging to everyone about her upcoming wedding, about how she was going to marry a handsome and successful doctor, and how she was going to join a prestigious and wealthy family. She had posted pictures of her engagement ring, her wedding dress, her wedding venue, and her wedding invitations on social media. She had hundreds of friends and followers who liked and commented on her posts, congratulating her and envying her. But when she had to announce that the wedding was canceled, it was a huge blow to her ego. She felt humiliated and ashamed. She tried to make up some excuses, but the truth soon came out. Someone leaked the news article about her real mother's crime and conviction, and it went viral. Everyone saw it and talked about it. Her friends turned their backs on her. They unfriended her, unfollowed her, blocked her, ignored her, or mocked her. Camilla was left alone and miserable. She realized that she had lost everything that mattered to her. Her fiancé, his family, her friends, her popularity, her status, her happiness. She realized she had made a terrible mistake by rejecting me and hurting me. She tried to contact me again. She begged me to forgive her and take her back, but I didn't answer. I blocked her number and deleted all of our messages. I erased all traces.
Janet, how long are you going to stay at home? I thought you were turning 39 years old next month. Yes, but what's going on? Listen, you're around 40. You're not married, you're not working, you're just staying at home. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Stop leeching off our parents. Huh? I'm leeching off our parents? Sis, are you sure you're not mistaken? How can I be mistaken? Even Dad says so. He said, I hope she doesn't stay at home forever. Did he really say that? Yes, he did. When I went home the other day, he was lamenting about it. He definitely wants you to leave. I'm sure you'd be in trouble if I stopped taking care of them. Huh? You're taking care of them? Give me a break. You don't even work and they support you. Am I going to be in trouble? If anything, I'm in trouble because you won't leave. Why are you in trouble? Because I can't live in our parents' house because you're staying there. What? Sis, do you want to go back to their house? Doesn't he want to live with his wife's parents? He'd rather live with them. It's better for the kids to have Grandma and Grandpa close by. Of course. So, Janet, if only you would leave there. We can live with them. I've never heard that you wanted to live with them. Because the house you're living in now, it's in a great location and it's newer. Didn't you say you like it? I do like it, but my current home is a rental and it costs a lot of money. It would be a waste to keep paying the rent. Huh? Sis, you told me not to live with them. You want to live there to save money? Shut up! Unlike you, I have 2 kids. I have to save a lot of money. Well, I understand that. Then I think it's even better not to live with them. From the looks of it, I don't think you understand the situation there at all. If you move in with them, you'll definitely regret it. Huh? There's no way I'll regret it. My dad has always loved me. He'll be happy when I come home, of course. Yes, Dad might be happy when you come back. But I'm saying you'll regret it. What? Why would I regret it? Tell me why. Well, Dad has asked me not to say anything about that. I want you to ask him directly. Voila! You're lying. I knew it. If you can't tell me, that means you're lying. I'm not lying. Then I'll ask my dad. If he wants to live with me or with you. If Dad chooses me, you'll have to get out of their house. Well, if he did that, that'd be fine. Yes, I'll hold you to that. I'll call Dad right away. I'll call you later.
Janet, I heard from Susan. We can't live at our parents' home because of you. I hate to say this, but I don't think it's a good idea for you to live with your elderly parents. I think it would be better for you to become independent.
Hello, Bob. I heard from my sister yesterday, too. Isn't there some misunderstanding?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm not leeching off our parents. I consider myself to be independent.
No. Staying at your parents without working at your age means you are not independent. It is not you who should live with your parents. It's us who have a family. Why don't you get married? Well, I know it's not easy for a recluse like you to find a partner. And to be honest, Susan is prettier than you.
You're really being so rude. I mean, don't most people want to live with their wives' parents? Please tell me why you want to live with her parents.
It's kind of complex. I would like you to stay out of it.
Then why don't you leave me alone? Besides, I'm saying this out of kindness. I know you don't know anything about the situation. If you live with my parents, you will surely regret it.
Regret? How can I regret it? Not having to pay rent would be awesome.
You're leeching off my parents too.
Huh? We're different from you, Janet. I'd feel terrible if you say we were the same as a recluse like you.
If you both insist that much, I'll get ready to leave home. Even if you cry and beg me after the fact, I won't help you.
Huh? We're going to cry and beg you? That won't happen. We won't help you if you cry.
Are you done? Is that all you wanted to say? I feel disgusted talking to you. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Please get ready to move out as soon as possible.
Janet, you told my husband you'd get ready to move out. It looks like you haven't left yet. Hurry up. We can't move in unless you leave. I said I'd get ready to move out, but I didn't say when. Have you talked to Dad? Yes. I asked him if he wants to live with us or with you. He said he wants to live with us. Well, that's what he said. I'm ready to leave any time. But you said you would check with him, so I waited. If you asked him about the situation, I thought you might say you don't want to live with them. Did you check out the situation? What? There's no way I would do that. It's obvious that you were bluffing. Well, I don't care if you regret it. Huh? You're not making any sense. How long are you going to stay there? A loner like you, get the hell out of there. Okay, I'll leave then. Huh? I told you I'm all set. I'm leaving right now. You're so understanding, aren't you? Then we'll move in tomorrow, too. That's fine, but you have to promise me one thing. Promise? What? That you won't live with them after all. Don't ask me for help. I will never help you. Huh? Give me a break. That's not going to happen. Okay, I promise you. I swear I'll never ask for your help. Well, good. Sis, you don't seem to know this, so I'll tell you this. Dad is addicted to gambling. They are in debt. I've been supporting my parents for a while now. But it seems they don't need me anymore, so you're going to have to support them from now on. Huh? Dad gambles? That can't be true for someone like him. You should lie a little better than that. Sis, you don't believe anything I say, do you? Of course I don't. Have you forgotten that they raised you? There are white lies and lies you can't tell. Can't you even understand that? You are no longer my sister. What? Are you going that far? Dad said he doesn't want to see you as his daughter. All he wants is me. That's enough for him. Dad said that. You know that he's always on my side, don't you? I feel sorry for you because he doesn't love you. Okay, I'll go on with my life from now on. I don't consider you guys family anymore, okay? Okay. You sound so arrogant. You've been a recluse your whole life. What can you do? All I want is their house. Where do you think you're going? Are you going to be homeless? Well, good luck with that. Bye. Janet, I'm sorry. Please, can you please help me? We found out Dad's debt and Mom left. My husband said this wasn't what he heard and he left me. I'm in a lot of trouble. Hey, Janet, are you listening? Who is this? Huh? Don't be silly. I'm your sister, Susan. I don't have a sister nor a father. Huh? What are you talking about? You lived with Dad a little while ago. Your sister is in trouble, so don't act like that. I told you, I don't have a sister. Come on. Now is not the time for such jokes. Joking? I'm not joking. You told me first that I wasn't your sister or anything. I cut you off then. I apologize for that. Please stop talking like that. I just want you to hear me out. About what? What you said was true. Oh, about the gambling? That's right. I had no idea that my serious and kind father was addicted to gambling. And he is in so much debt. That's why I told you to check with him. You didn't check, and you didn't believe me. And now you're contacting me. What do you think you're doing? All I want to know is, if that's the case, how did you guys live? I asked him, but he wouldn't tell me. Even though Mom works part-time, she's too old to make enough money. They have to pay off the debt with their little pension, and I wonder where they get the money to support a recluse like you. Janet, do you know how they did it? I was paying for them. Huh? Yes. The mortgage on the house, the living expenses, Dad's debts. I was paying all of them. That can't be true. Janet, you've been a recluse all your life. Sis, I think you've been mistaken all along. I'm not a shut-in. Huh? I used to go to work, but Mom told me that Dad got addicted to gambling. He got into debt. It was the first time I'd ever seen her sobbing uncontrollably, so I decided to help her out. I switched to a work-from-home job. Luckily, I have good credential, and now that I'm starting my own business, I'm making more than double what I was making as a company employee. You? So you really were supporting Mom and Dad. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I told you before, didn't I? Dad didn't want me to tell you. He's too proud of himself. By the way, you said Bob left too, right? What do you mean? Are you divorced? Not divorced yet, but he got mad that it wasn't what he heard. If he is at my parents' place, we can survive without working for a while. He decided to move in with them because I told him that he could take time finding a job. He said he didn't know that Dad had debts. He left saying, I'm going to live with my parents. Don't you think it's too irresponsible for him to leave me and my kids behind? I don't even work. How am I supposed to survive? You and Bob, calling me a recluse leeching off Mom and Dad. But in fact, you guys were. That's really funny. I think you two are the worst kind of people, and I think you make a good match for each other. Why don't you two continue to get along? If you hate me, say what you want. I apologize for calling you a recluse leeching off Mom and Dad. I'm really sorry for calling you like that. What's wrong? You sound normal. I'm scared. Janet, please come back to their house. Huh? Of course I don't want to. I'm finally free. There's no way I'm going back now. Then why don't you send us some money? If you're making more than double, you could at least help me out a little. Don't be so naive. We had a deal, right? Didn't I tell you not to ask for my help? Then you said you'd promise, right, sis? Take responsibility for what you said. It's no use pretending you don't remember. I have your texts as evidence. Because at the time, I didn't know that Dad was in debt. No, I told you about the debt and the gambling. You can't just run away. Where do you live now, Janet? Tell me where you live. I'm going to see you. If I talk to you directly, I'm sure you'll want to help me. Because we're sisters. So we're not sisters anymore. Besides, I live on an island now. What? An island? I always wanted to live somewhere with lots of nature. So I decided to live on an island that I fell in love with after a trip there a few years ago. I work from home, so I can work from anywhere. Well, then it's not so easy to visit you. You don't have to come. I'm not even going to tell you where I live. Don't be so cold. Mom and my husband left me. Left me with a dad in debt and 2 kids, and I'm unemployed. How am I supposed to live? Don't worry, Mom is safe and sound. Janet, you know where Mother is? Tell me where she is. Of course I know. She lives with me. Huh? You and your mom? Mom couldn't forgive Dad because he was the one who got into debt and depended on me. and yet always badmouthed me. He kicked me out of the house. He even decided to live with your family on his own, and I think she lost his patience with him. When I told her that I was going to leave home and live on the island, she said, "That's nice. I want to live in the countryside too." I asked her if she wanted to live with me. She said, "If it's okay with you, then take me with you." So, we decided to live together. I love you, her. From now on, I will consider her as my only family. You too, forget about me and your mother. Support your father. Oh no, I don't have a job. How am I supposed to support him and 2 kids? I'm sorry. Please help me too. You know, there are plenty of working mothers out there. Besides, you kicked me out of the home. Now you want me to help you when things go bad? If you think things go as you want, you are mistaken. I don't want you to bother me when I'm living peacefully on the island. I'm going to block you now. Wait a minute. Janet, don't give up on me. Janet? Janet, you have to help me. After that, I got a call from my father. He told me that he was sorry and that I should help him, but I told him, "My mom is the only family I have now, so forget about me." I also told him that I wanted him and Susan to help each other. He asked me to at least tell him where my mom was. Of course, I didn't tell him. I blocked him. My father and sister used to be very close, but now my aunt says they are always arguing and cursing each other. She was begged and asked to tell where my mother and I were, but she was always on my side. She told me with a laugh that she ignored it. I am enjoying my life in the countryside with my mother. Ever since she found out about my father's debt, she was looking so sad. I am relieved that she is finally smiling again. In fact, I have a boyfriend here on the island who I had a long-distance relationship with. He met my mother the other day, and we are planning to get married soon. I am so happy that he wants to live with my mother. From now on, I want the 3 of us to help each other and live together.